one-on-one with a child to teach them how to read, I always start with 3 drills. And these 3 drills really help to warm up their brain, to help them review past material that we've already learned, and to get them ready for our lesson. These 3 drills are so important and you don't want to skip them. So I am going to explain drill number 1 in this video, and then I'm going to have separate videos for the 2nd drill and the 3rd drill, so you can come back to my channel and check those out. In case you don't know me, my name is Erin and I am from littleslovelearning.com. I'm a former classroom teacher. I am also a tutor and a sub, and I spend my days teaching parents and other teachers how to teach little ones how to read correctly and effectively. And these drills that I use when I'm working with a student are super simple and things that you can do at home with your own child or with your students in your classroom. The first drill we're going to focus on in today's video is called the visual drill. That's when I'm showing my student a letter and I'm asking them to tell me the sound that goes along with that letter. Now, if I'm working with really little ones, preschool, pre-K, or kindergarten, I am okay showing them letters that also have a keyword picture to help their brain remember what that sound is. So for example, I might hold up this card and I would want them to tell me D, because the sound that goes with this letter is D. We have this big picture of a dog to help cue them into that sound. I use these cards to teach letter sounds to my students, so they're very familiar with these keywords. This is called the animal alphabet, and if you're interested, I actually have a free download on my website, so you could have these cards as well. So like I said, with my little ones, I'm gonna have a big picture keyword if they need that to prompt them for their memory of the sound. And when I'm showing them these letter cards, they're not going to be in ABC order. I want them to be mixed up so that they're not just memorizing in order the letter sounds. So they're going to be mixed up. And I'm also going to be using all the cards that I have explicitly taught them the letter and the sound relationship. So if I haven't taught them yet, it's not going to go in my review deck. But let's say I taught them these. So they are just going to look at the letter and they're going to say the sound. Ah, that's all I want. I don't want the letter name. I don't want the keyword picture. All I want is the sound, K, the ones that I have taught them. So I start with these big picture, these keyword pictures that are big. But then as my students are really getting these letter sounds, I might want to move to a smaller keyword picture where I'm just putting it up in the corner just in case they need that little reminder. But the main focus is on the letter. So they see this big letter, they just tell me the sound ah. So again, I want these cards to be mixed up and I'm only including the letters that we have already explicitly taught them. And I also have a set of letters that have no keyword pictures because ultimately that is my goal. I want to get my students in a place where they can see the letter and they can say the sound just like that, with no keyword picture prompting at all. That's not easy for some of our littlest ones if we're working with our preschool, pre-K, and kindergartners, but that is the goal. So again, we want them to be mixed up and we want it to be just the letters that we've explicitly taught as a review. So when I'm doing this drill at the beginning of my lesson, it is a review of previous material and also to prime their brain to get ready for the learning that's going to happen in the rest of the lesson. Now, you might not want to use letter cards like I did that are on paper. You might want to use something like a Google slideshow or a PowerPoint presentation where you can just flash the letter on the screen super quickly and then go to the next one. I actually used that this summer when I was tutoring students, and I was using the program UFLI from the University of Florida Literacy Institute, and it comes with slide decks that include this visual drill that have all the letters that have been explicitly taught to the students, the sounds that go along with them, so that students can just go through that Google slideshow or PowerPoint presentation, and when they see the letter flashed on the screen, they just say its sound. So I'm actually going to show you a quick video of one of my students that I was working with this summer and how we were able to complete the visual drill. And it can be, and then what about if we turn our voice box on? Nice work. this one can also be like in the word his. Right. So no matter if you are using letter cards or if you are using a Google slideshow or PowerPoint presentation, the goal of the visual drill is for your child to see the letter and know the sound automatically. We want it to become really automatic. That way, when they're decoding words and they're starting to read, it's just completely automatic. That's why we're constantly reviewing letters and sounds that we've explicitly taught in the past. We want that spiral review so that they are keeping it fresh in their brains. We really want to solidify that knowledge. Now you'll notice on the Google slideshow, the letter was just lowercase, and my cards have the uppercase and lowercase letter on them. Either way is a great choice. You want to definitely move your child to just being able to look at the lowercase letter and know the sound, but it's important for our littlest ones. These are really designed more for our preschool, pre-K, and kindergartners, that they are recognizing the uppercase and the lowercase letter. But as they get on in school, later kindergarten, first grade, second grade, they're not going to need that. They are just going to recognize that lowercase letter. So it is important to try both. Make sure that they know their uppercase and their lowercase letters, and that they understand that even if it's an uppercase D or a lowercase d, when they see it, they need to think of the sound D. And one more tip when you are teaching letter sounds to your little one, we want to move away from using the phrase letters make sounds, because technically letters don't make sounds. They represent sounds. They represent the sounds in our speech. And it can get really confusing for little ones, because if we say a letter makes a sound, and then we tell them, well, actually this letter can sometimes make a different sound. And sometimes it can make a different sound, because we know how English is, and we have one letter can represent a variety of sounds depending on where it is in the word or depending on what letter is next to it. It can just get confusing. I know that I've really tried hard these last few years to change my vocabulary when it comes to this. Instead of saying letters make sounds, trying to say letters represent sounds. Another tip is to say the phrase, the letter is, the sound is. So for example, instead of saying A says ah, I could say the letter is A, the sound is ah. Just like a tiny switch of our vocabulary, but I'm not saying that the letter is saying anything, just saying the letter is A, the sound my brain needs to remember is ah. So hopefully that helps. I do have a different video on my YouTube channel all about how to stop saying this phrase, and so I will link it down below if you'd like to check that out as to why eliminating that phrase that letters make sounds, why that's important, and how we can kind of move past that to change the way we speak about letters and sounds. So there you go. There was the first drill, the visual drill. That is the one I always start with when I'm working with my students to teach them how to read. It really should not take you that long, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, depending on how many letters and sounds they are practicing. It's not designed to be a teaching moment in the lesson. It's really supposed to be a quick review. So these are already letters and sounds that they have covered, and now you're just reviewing them. I also wanted to point out on these animal alphabet cards, if you're interested in downloading them from littleslovelearning.com, that I also have digraphs in here. So besides just the 26 letters of the alphabet, I also include digraphs, which is when two letters will represent one sound. For example, CH. That is a digraph that we teach to our little ones. And so it will include digraphs. So if you've already taught digraphs, then that might be in your visual drill. If you have already taught your child that a letter represents more than one sound, so for example, this letter here, once you have explicitly taught them, C can represent K and it can represent S. Then when they see this letter, they need to give you both sounds. If you've already explicitly taught it, they need to practice that. So in the beginning, they're just going to focus on K. And then when you get to the lesson about letter C representing S, they need to start adding that into their visual drill. So it really does build on itself over the course of the year or however long you're taking to teach your child, because as they're learning more and more phonics skills, they are practicing that in their visual drill. So keep that in mind as well. If you have any questions about the visual drill or you want more information about teaching your child how to read, please comment down below or find me on my website, littleslovelearning.com. Make sure to come back to my channel because we still have 2 more drills that we're going to talk about. And the next one is going to be the auditory drill, and then we have the blending drill. So don't miss out on those videos. Come on back so that you can keep learning more. Until then, I hope you have a great day. Bye.